Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing an exceptionally early FP Journe Chronometre à résonance. This example, 38mm in platinum with yellow gold dial, features a case year stamping. That's the year the case was made of 01. R is resonance. And of course, this is the French-made case era at FP Journe, as we have both the stamps of Switzerland and France on this precious metal case, with the maker's mark of Eleanor, which is outside of Paris, or at least it was until FP Journe bought it up and moved it to Geneva to become his case factory in 2008. So this watch, 38mm, discontinued. Resonance 1, discontinued. Eleanor case, discontinued. And of course, brass movement, discontinued. Very collectible. Remember, the first year for this watch was 2000. So now the timepiece is 44.7mm from lug tip to lug tip. It's 9mm thick. It has a 20mm spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and it wears beautifully, handsome, flat, flush, and easily sliding underneath the cuff. It is a dress watch, yes, and it's a unisex option suitable for him or for her. I can imagine it fitting on a wrist as small as 13 centimeters in circumference, so even a child could wear it. Not recommended, though. The strap, as you can see, is an FP Journe factory strap, round scale alligator leather on the bottom, large rectangular scale on the top, semi-gloss, navy blue, monotone stitch with a folded edge and a little bit of bolstering to add some thickness and volume. You could see that the spring bars used are curved, so there's no impediment to the motion of the strap, and we are talking the latest generation of FP Journe factory straps, so we have triggers to remove the spring bar without a tool. If you're wondering why gator on the top and bottom of a strap, it costs more, but it lasts longer. Simple platinum pin buckle for adjusting the watch on the wrist, and then a familiar case to FP Journe fans. We have the double dimple knurled crown for the flyback of the second sands, and then for the crown that winds and sets the two independent dials. The mid case is narrow, polished, bezel polished, case back polished. There's a little bit of an overlapping lip to the case back and the bezel that defines the mid case. Then we have integrated, blended, and tapered lug profiles. The dial is made of solid gold, and it is a matte finish. The timepiece features a power reserve indicator that actually moves backwards. So like a marine chronometer, it doesn't indicate the number of hours of power reserve remaining. It indicates the number of hours since the watch was fully wound. So when it is fully wound, it will indicate 0 for 0 hours since fully wound. That's how it worked on marine chronometers when you needed to wind them exactly 24 hours apart. So it was more important to know how long since the last winding than how many hours remained. 42 hours is the maximum reserve for the watch. We have black polished steel bezels flanking little brass stamped dials that have been silvered. They have railroad tracks for minutes and seconds, and then a lovely font used for the Arabic numerals. Symmetry, you can see we have that on this Resonance 1. 12 and 12, they can be set independently. So it is a true dual time watch, though not a GMT. It is a dual time. The watch couples the two independent movements together by resonance phenomenon, which takes about 7 to 10 minutes to gain purchase. So if the hands aren't synchronized on the second subregisters, you can synchronize them using the flyback down at 4 o'clock. Turn it all over, you can see the very first version of this movement, brass bridges. So you can see caliber 1499, 14 French lean, and 1999 is the year work started. Of course, we have the French-made case, brass bridges and plates. While gold bridges and plates are worth more from a commodity standpoint, these rhodium-plated brass bridges and plates are worth more because they made fewer of them. These were phased out in mid-2004. We have 2 barrels, 2 drivetrains, 2 escapements, 2 balances. They're free-sprung. Each one's adjusted in 6 positions, and they beat away at 21,600 vibrations per hour, in addition to regulating them by conventional variable inertia bolts on the rim of the balances. We have this little rack and pinion that changes the distance between them so that an FP Journe watchmaker can actually tune the resonance phenomenon that couples them together, and ideally, once coupled, they are auto-correcting, and they should not vary by more than 5 seconds relative to each other per 24 hours. All of this is water resistant down to 30 meters. This is an iconic watch of the modern era and one of the truly greats of independent horology. It is also one of 2 watches, along with the early Tourbillon Remontoir, that you absolutely must own if you want a definitive FP Journe collection. Reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.